Hey folks, rinimt here, and welcome back to Tiny Bunny. Thank you, Serenity Forge, for the code. We're in episode 4, and Katya's now missing. So, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I couldn't believe it at first, but Lilia Pavlovna didn't come to work today. The test is off. I remembered Katya. She was both beautiful and mean. Katya, the first girl in our class whose body started maturing to the envy of all the other female students. Oh. Yeah. The main source of gossip, a snake, yeah. I continued scribbling in my notebook, drawing rows of pines and two small figures flying between the treetops and the full moon. Shivers ran up to my shoulders, sneaking playfully under the hem of my shirt. Even soaring through the sky felt so simple. There was still something evil weighing me down. The culprit was definitely still in the village. They were hiding something horrible under a mask of piousness. What are you drawing? Embarrassed, I covered the notebook as if there was something shameful about the figures above the forest. Nothing really, just fooling around. Hi. Polina put her elbows on the desk. I already forgotten how light and graceful she was, just like a violin. The anger and rage that boiled inside me yesterday during our phone call subsided, hid in a hole. I just couldn't stay mad at Polina. I wish she could also jump around with us after stripping away her mask of fake mundanity. I smiled, imagining Polina's skirt flapping in the wind, the stars sparkling all around us, her asking in bewilderment whether it is all a dream, and myself telling her that it doesn't matter. Polina's expression grew dark again. It's also tragic that I find it difficult to empathize with her. I tried so hard, but then I remembered all her nasty deeds, and Polina shook her head. I'm a monster, aren't I? No, I thought. You're one of the most beautiful girls I've ever met. Alas, you're only number 2 on that list. Decided not to say that out loud. It's not okay that I felt worse when I lost my questionnaire than when she went missing. My nostrils picked up the smell of candy, tree resin, and fireworks. You lost your questionnaire? Yes, somebody out there is reading other people's secrets now. Yes, the forest, I thought, imagining the crooked branches turning notebook pages, touching the childish handwriting with their icy twigs. I hope the search goes well. I was unsure whether she spoke about Katya or her notebook. I wanted to ask her about it, but then I noticed Polina's intense stare directed at me. What? You've changed. I smoothed my hair flat, surprised. I just didn't sleep well last night. You're a different melody today, some mysterious ancient tune. Thought about the flute's melody streaming between the bushy treetops. I hope you haven't told anyone about our chat yesterday? Of course not. She nodded, as if acknowledging that she can fully trust me. I was unsure whether I merited such trust. Her hair cascaded down around her shoulders. The smell was so wonderful that it sent me flying towards the glowing stars of my inner cosmos without any magic. Biyasha jumped at me like that jack-in-the-box toy and yelled in my ear. Looky here! Have a lovey-dovey time, eh? Hey, Four Eyes, are you trying to pick up Polina? Polina came to my help even though I didn't ask her to. Or maybe I did, with my entire appearance? What's with this nonsense? We're just friends. Is he your girlfriend, then? Do you go by dresses together with this fag? He's not fag. Leave Petrov alone. I needed to do something, but I just sat there clutching the edge of my desk. Ronka gave me a deriding snort. A girl saved you, ugly face. I'll let you live for now. My enemies left the classroom guffawing. Lena showed me a sad smile. Be strong. I wanted to scream that I couldn't. Couldn't be strong and stand up against these bastards. Couldn't stand up for myself or anyone else. I'm pathetic. I want to disappear into the forest, dig myself into the snow. I want to go home, get under my blanket, far away from humans. Polina left, and the thoughts that were terrorizing me finally made me weep. I stayed late after school again to escape Ronka's ire for my rash act of talking to Polina, which meant I had to drag my feet toward home in the twilight. A bored school janitor scraped his shovel against the asphalt, and the upperclassmen blew out smoke that formed clouds similar to dialogue bubbles in comics. I wanted to fill those bubbles with friendly words, but there was nothing friendly about the icy stares those guys gave me. I was leaving the unpleasant world of stale buns and nasty insults. Someone shoved me near the stairs. Didn't their parents teach them to apologize? I crossed the village and slowed my pace near the bridge. I turned my head around, looking for my fox friend, but neither she nor my other new friends could be seen anywhere. I was met with a silent forest. It felt like a crouching predator pretending to be asleep. It still watched me with one eye from under half-closed lids, and I walked through it, my fingers gripping the backpack straps, looking at my feet through a pair of glasses. Katya! Katya! Once again, black shadows flashed among the naked trees, shouting the name of a girl who was most likely already dead over and over. The sunset fizzled over the pine tops like a flame from a gas burner set to minimum. I walked forward, trying to hide my head and my shoulders, avoiding the sight of the crooked trees. The house was a dark stain on the white, snowy blanket. The front door was open and swayed slightly in the wind. It felt like my skin was getting covered in rime. I clenched my fists. Darkness oozed into the hallway and snowflakes floated inside along with it, landing softly on the rug, like a pack of vultures that sensed their food. I stepped into the doorway with the utmost caution. For a moment, I thought I heard someone talking in the kitchen, but it turned out to be a radio broadcast. Previously mentioned cyclone is getting even close to the region. The official forecast for tomorrow suggests gusts of wind reaching up to 70 kilometers per hour. Emercom of Russia has called on citizens to exercise extreme caution. The roads are closed off. The cold air streams coming from the Arctic are bringing massive blizzards. I heard voices coming from the upper floor, too. The staircase let out a long squeak. Took one step, yet my heart managed to beat 6 or 7 times in the meantime. The door to my parents' bedroom was ajar. A shadow play unfolded inside like a light spot. Black silhouettes were performing a dance of hatred. Mom hissed at Dad, her wrists flying towards the ceiling, and he towered over her, his hands crossed on his huge chest. We're all in danger, and it's your fault! And stop lying, you saw him in the village. He found out where we live! It wasn't him. I've read about the things your buddies are capable of in the newspapers. I ran towards my bedroom. Parents were in the middle of another quarrel where they showered each other with mutual accusations. They let out a low, beast-like roar. Make them stop! Olya stood in the corridor, pressing her little palms against her ears. Her face, swollen from crying, made my skin freeze. What happened? They're going to divorce. I hugged my sister and held her tight. My tongue refused to listen to my commands, to look for excuses. It felt like the screams were coming from every direction, right and left, up and down, splitting my head apart. Swear words rained down on us, so we covered our heads with our hands like refugees running from a bombing. I want to escape! To your room? No! Far away! Leave me to Neverland! You promised! I carefully unglued Olya's hands from her ears and led her away from the room with her parents, which was vibrating with malice. Your fault! For whom? For your own, and only your own! I would never. Moments like these, I despise them more than they despise each other. I bolted down the door to my room and leaned against it. My knees gave way. Look, Olya, I also hate it here. At least you can go to school. I let out a sad laugh. That school is one big nightmare. Everybody hates me. There's only this one girl who isn't making fun of me. She takes pity on me instead, like I'm a beaten dog. You're not a dog, I don't know who I am anymore. But the outside world is clearly no better than our home. Do you know a better place? Let's go there! We'll fly or swim. If only we could do that. I would have sacrificed everything to escape and take you with me. Olya's upper lip trembled. Swear? Put on a bitter smile. On my own life. Something hit the window's ledge on the outside. Olya shuddered and shifted her gaze toward it. Bam, another snowball smacked into the window's frame. Were you expecting someone? I didn't reply. As I let go of her wrist, Olya wept in fear. I crossed the room, wincing from every shout coming from my parents. I could hear plates getting smashed now. They must have moved their argument to the kitchen. I'm gonna save it here. I'm, like, scared. Okay. I flung the curtains and the window open. Hootie, Teddy, Wolfie, and most importantly, the charming Alisa stood outside, waving at us. Olya gasped in surprise when she saw the owl girl. See, I told you! Yeah, I know. I always believed you. Who are they? Her fearful voice also had some curiosity mixed in. Only the most boring children sit at home in weather like this. We still have so many games to play. But let's not play all of them. My butt hurts. We play a little then rest. Friends! Come on, come out to play and dance. My heart started beating faster as soon as I saw Alisa. My inner voice practically screamed, she's here, she's finally here. Do they know the way to Neverland? I entertained that possibility, looking at the animal kits. Maybe. Let's go find out. The silhouettes of my forest friends promised to free us from sadness, anger, and nightly horrors. I made sure that Olya wore warm clothes. Mom barked at Dad like a wild beast from that show with Nikolai Drozdov. We sneaked past the rumbling kitchen and into the snowfall outside. Alisa ran up to me and hugged me tight, poking her cold nose into my neck. You took so long! We almost got old waiting for you shut-ins! She pressed her body into me even harder. Turns out, waiting is so tiring. Give me a minute to catch my breath. I was preparing to leave for a long time once. And when I was done, I forgot where I was supposed to go. Olya looked at the owl with suspicion. But she giggled when the bird did the backflip and landed perfectly on her feet without staggering. All the other animals, as if on cue, stopped fooling around and stared at Olya in amazement. That's the girl who didn't want to become friends! Aww. My name is Olya. I was afraid of you before. Were you afraid of our Hootie? Maybe she has owlphobia? Can you cure that? It doesn't matter as long as she's not afraid of having fun. Or she might get scared to death with us. I was stunned at the realization that my lips were slowly forming a smile. Every time I met Alisa, it felt like I crossed a river, and the sound of flowing water suppressed all of my negative thoughts. Your costumes are so pretty! Fox Girl let go of me and squatted beside Olya. My, what a cutie! Why did you hide such a cute creature from us before? I glanced at the house, worried that our parents might have seen us and were about to ruin our fun like they always do. Then hugged my sister and replied, let's get further away from here. Sure thing. Hey, Olya, do you know how to find Grandpa Frost in our forest? My little sister's eyes widened. How? You need to follow the sweet trail. Alisa bent down and took candy out of the snow. Olya raised her hands in amazement. She gave me an inquiring look. I nodded. My sister munched on the candy. Wait, do we who have Grandpa Frost in our forest? Why? Who didn't you tell me? I did this afternoon. But I sleep during the day. Right, I told you while you were sleeping. Alisa dashed away, wiggling her red tail like a torch's flame. Olya went after her without thinking and laughed after taking another candy out of a snow pile. You're so lively, it makes me sick to my stomach. And you never stop. And you stop being so passive. Oh. Run with us to Grandpa Frost while there's still presents left. No way. Hello. I won't believe the fox's tails and the 10 pounds of sweets drop on my head right now. When the aforementioned sweets started raining down on the bear's head, I couldn't stop myself from laughing at him, ouching and bobbing his head up and down. Tasty treats glistened in the snow. Teddy sneezed and pulled a little bear in the north candy out of his ear. I'd take an hour-long nap and then count all these chocolates. I suspect there are no more than 3 pounds here. Alisa shouted us from the other side of the forest. Maybe another life. Hurry up, Grandpa Frost is already tired of waiting for you in his castle. I shrugged and ran. Running loosened the grip of fear I felt all this time. Something round whizzed past my temple. I decided it was a snowball, but then Olya proclaimed, Zephyr! Don't pick it up, it's sturdy. Huh? You believe in microbes? And you don't? I used to. Graceful rows of colossal pines greeted us from their rustling paws. Snow drifted upward into the endless black sky, just like last time. Snow piles lightened up like melted silver. Or lit up. Lined up? So pretty! I thought the forest was scary! Parents told us scary stories of the forest, owl, and snow. But we weren't one bit worried playing with her when the moon glows. Did my best to keep track of Olya's movements, but it was a difficult task. My sister would jump inside bushes, picking up more candy, only to then get back on the trail laughing. Hootie flew over our heads, landed on the branch, and started hooting and shaking her head. Wolfie dug into the snow with his face, dragged out a pile of bubble gum, and swallowed it without taking off the wrapping. Your tummy will hurt! The wolf got scared and spat out the gumball. Lies, 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 nasty flies. Tummy aches don't exist. Oh, that nonsense only happens to grown-ups. Alisa stopped in her tracks and moved a canopy of intertwined branches to the side in a pompous manner, like you would open the curtains in a theater. Behind that obstacle lay a clearing. There stood an ice castle, glistening with silver. Is this real? Should I pinch you? There's no need to pinch her. We stared at the sparkling miracle. Its towers and walls were made of snow and icy marble. I heard a calming sound of ringing little bells. There was also the smell of chocolate and burnt sugar in the air. Welcome to our humble abode. Come on in. She didn't have to invite us twice. We entered the castle, spinning around and squinting from the blinding sparkles. Grandpa Frost sat atop its shiny throne. Puffy pom-poms swung atop the 2 peaks of his hat. A snow-white beard covered his kind smile. I'm guessing this is a Russian legend sort of thing. He looked just like I imagined him back in the day when I still believed in Mom's fairy tales. Tall, strong, and hairy, radiating frost and warmth at the same time. His voice, low and syrupy, enveloped me like the smoke of a festive bonfire. Anton and Olga, you probably got tired. Well, getting here, my dear children. Oh no, Grandpa, we got here really fast. His sister spoke with the castle's master like she never spoke with adults, in a lively, carefree manner, as if they were the same age. Of course, I know all about it. I have a lot of friends. They tell me everything. If you're diligent all year, I'll bring you gifts, my dear. If you're lazy and upset, please forgive this kind old man. Candy won't encounter lazy bones and downers. I'm not lazy. That's true, I know. He gave us a long, evaluating look. His real face was hidden under the Grandpa Frost mask. I was just standing there unblinking, my gaze glued to the old man. I could accept children living in the forest and fantastical jumps toward the moon, but seeing Grandpa Frost in his frozen castle left me completely speechless. I have something special for you too. A sack appeared in his giant hand. My nostrils got attacked by the aroma of cocoa, halva, and tangerines. Thank you, but we've already eaten some candy. Grandpa Frost pierced me with his eyes. Ho ho ho, you call that candy? That was nothing. My candy is special, straight from Neverland. Ho 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 ho. From Neverland? I give them to you right away. You clearly deserve them. But rules are rules. You need to solve 3 of Grandpa's riddles. Wanna try? Tried splitting my parched lips apart, but Olya was the first to reply. Yeah! Here comes the first one. It's a home for cars and all sorts of tires. I looked around at the masked children. They stood without moving in the corners, but the shadows danced on the walls. I heard a low hum, and in my confusion, I thought it was the sound of their rumbling stomachs. A garage! Correct. Now onto the second one. You try to solve it too, Anton. All day long to the shadows they belong. They rattle the plates and hiss at their mates. My eyebrows shot up in confusion. Moms? Olya raised her hand. Can I? It's a kitty! Correct. Ho ho ho. Here's the last one. Solve it and the gifts are yours. Oh, but what a stroke of bad luck, my dear children. Completely forgot what that riddle was about. Maybe our little animal friends can help us. Why? Children in costumes surrounded us, laughing and stomping, only to start spinning in a crazed roundelay. That somewhat reminded me of the dance in the window on that fateful night. Grandpa Frost sits on his throne. At the kids, he's smiling back. Please don't make them wait too long. Come and open your old sack. Grandpa Frost burst out laughing, satisfied. Okay, you proved yourself this old man. Here you go. He scattered a mountain of sweets from his scarlet sack, some of which I had never even seen in commercials before. Bubblegum of all shapes and colors with tasty aromas and inserts sticking out. Lollipops the size of a fist and tangerines the size of Olya's head. Hey, look, a Kinder Surprise. Twixie. Wilkie May. Yeah, okay, anyway. And also Snickers, Mars, Bounty Bars, and Kinder Surprise eggs that we haven't eaten for so long already. Wow, thank you! I wiped away the tears of joy with my sleeve when my inner voice persuaded me to get rid of all doubts. This is exactly what I wanted for my sister and myself. A true Neverland, without bullying and taboos. We're finally going to be happy. Grandpa Frost straightened up as he left his throne and threw his hands in the air over the treats. Animals that stood to his sides also raised their paws. Their eyes sparkled brighter than precious gems. The wolf's maw was wet with saliva. Feast, my children! Animal kids rushed to devour candy one by one, pushing each other and growling. Their faces were smeared with something dark. Olya grabbed the closest candy and tore off the wrapper. We'll do that thing again where I'm gonna save. Yes. Accept. I fished out the most tasty looking candy from the pile of sweets on the floor. And took a bite. Milk chocolate melted in my mouth. Ah, hello. I applaud your bold decision. Now it's time for you to play. I will grant your deepest wishes. Let me lighten up your day. Why? Anton, look! My sister's face was smeared in chocolate, and I was about to reprimand her. But words got stuck in my throat. A giant spruce shot toward the stars and disappeared somewhere in outer space, crowned by a giant moon. Giant balls shined on its branches, garlands of lights gleamed with all the colors of the rainbow. The roof disappeared and myriads of constellations sprawled on the night sky above us. Music, laughter, the smell of evergreen and sweets, and Teddy, Wolfie, and Hootie dancing beside us, and the snowflakes floating backwards. I burst out laughing, touched the bushy golden tinsel. It was all real. Is Daddy? Are you talking about Neverland by any chance? Is this Neverland? Alisa performed a theatric bow. Christmas balls gleamed and shimmered, and my soul shimmered in unison with them. I was becoming the magic winter forest, the soft evergreen, all the constellations at the same time. Welcome home! This is where my home always was. Snow sparkled, almost blinding me. Olya started spinning in a dance. She grabbed the candy with each of her hands. Wolfie juggled Kinder Surprise eggs. Did you see that? Consoles, handheld games, dolls, and Transformer figures lay under the spruce as if they were brought here by trucks. Is this for us? I realized I was also dancing, so I replied while moving. It's a bit too much for just the two of us. I'd share it with somebody. And what do you think? Only if it's somebody nice. A group of children stood at the edge of the woods. Their enchanted gaze is directed at our celebration. Hey! I jumped across the whole clearing and glided to the ground near them. Want to come to us? Whoa. Can we? Of course. Kids took each other by the hand. I led their procession towards the gifts. There was no better feeling than leading someone to the road to their dreams. The holiday party was finally in full swing. In every holiday, just like in a beautiful apple, always sat a nasty little worm called transience. Yet here, under the bristly pods of a magnificent spruce, holidays never ended. Are you happy, Tosha? I am. Up in the sky, majestic fireworks went off, illuminating the dancing figures. My eyes wetted, my muscles sprung up. Blech. I tilted my head backward to look at the moon and screamed at the top of my lungs from overflowing emotion. Are you happy, Bunny? I jumped toward the stars and did a flip. All of Neverland could hear my scream. I am happy. Well, since he was happy, let's not wake up. I mean, he's waking up with a smile on his face. But let's not wake up. And let's say we call it good there. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider tossing a like, comment, subscribe. Maybe click the bell for notifications. Also, be sure to check out the description below. Various links, social media, Discord. Come hang out. Get notifications there as well. And until next time, this is rinimt signing out. Bye!